Hello everybody and welcome to another wild unedited video from me of my food forest. Today we're going to talk about some of the food and some of the status of some of the trees that you can get out of a food forest that's 2 years old. We'll flip the camera around, which is pretty cool. Now I have this new Samsung A54. I don't have to, I can just do this in one shot so you can see my face. And then you can see where I was just laying down trying to tan. And also I can show you around. We're just going to cover this spot here, but I wanted to show you that I've left this whole backyard go wild for just over 3 years. And everything aside from maple trees and the American walnuts, the black walnuts, are all an average of 2 years old. So, for example, this Haskap or honeyberry bush, this is 2 years old, and it doesn't look like I'm going to get any fruit off of this. It started to flower, but it dropped when we had a cold snap. So next year we'll get that. So on year 3 of planting that, we'll be getting fruit out of that. Same with these two honeyberry Haskap bushes here. However, this is our second year eating the asparagus. And you can see it's ferned out and seeding out. We eat this at the end of April and for about half of May. Depends on if any new shoots want to jump up. But usually after about 3 weeks we just let it go, and we actually transplant it. We actually cut half of it out and put it into a pot right here. And that seems to be doing quite all right. It had a little stun there on one of them, but it looks like it'll drop some seeds, and we just keep watering it. This mint, it's taking over this entire area. I think that's about 2 years old too. So as far as food production, we do have some annual veggie beds that we're trying out a little bit harder this year. So if you really wanted to raise production in your food forest, having a couple of annual veggie beds that will produce fruit in the summer would be good. Just like we have a tomato that's kind of doing all right there. And we have another 40 different, well, I don't know, 7 different types of plants we're going to end up planting out that we just seeded out. And then another thing is perennial kales. We snuck in some perennial kales in here. So this is an annual vegetable that over the course of people monkeying with stuff have managed to make this kale, I guess, perennial. So that'd be really cool if we could get that. Keep the mint away by kind of chopping that up and feeding it to the birds. And that'd be really cool if we could have half of this section be kale. That would give us a lot of food all year long, basically, except for the coldest, harshest months of the year. And I'll show you the difference between something that's been here for the full 3 years versus something that's been here 2. So here's one of the sugar maples that are naturally germinated on my property, and that's right at 5 foot. And then here's a peach, I do believe. It's doing quite well, but it's still too young to put on any fruit. And that's right next to an American walnut, 2 of them actually. So you can kind of see this is something that was shipped to us from a nursery that sells online, like a Gurney's or a Fast Growing Trees or anything like that. And we have a mixture of peach, pear, and plum, and we've also added some hazelnuts. This is a hazelnut here. We actually just planted this spring, and it's doing quite all right. But I mean, I guess the thing I'm trying to get at is you're not really gonna expect too much food out of a food forest tree system if you're getting them shipped to you, because they just won't be tall enough to really produce any fruit. You can see that pear behind me. They all look great. It's just try not to expect food immediately after you start planting these trees. Like for example, this guy's been here for 2 years. Looks great, it's getting tall, putting on a lot of growth. This Flavor Delight Ape Prim. But yep, no flowers or anything yet. And that goes true for things like elderberry. This elderberry here is about 2 years old. Well, this one actually, no, this one is, we planted it this spring and it has put on this much growth, which is amazing. You can see, I hope, where it goes from brown right here, and then these shoots are separate from, like this whole shoot in my hand is all new growth from when I planted it about a month and a half ago. So you get incredible growth, but you can't really expect any fruit from a 4-foot fruit tree unless it's some sort of strange mini orange tree or something like that. Camera around, we're at about 6 minutes, so come sit next to the chickens, say hi to Lucy, and that's one way if you want to get more production out of your food forest, is to get some chickens. And they are laying pretty well. I'm thinking I'm bringing snacks over. Also, I think they get a little bored. Hey, crazy. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. All right, bye-bye.